Hello, thank you for joining me for pick a card again, and we've got three decks, so one, two, three. So either pick a number, one, two, three, or pick the back of the deck that calls to you, and I'm just going to put these to one side. Okay, this is for people who chose number one, then, deck number one. And as usual, I have shuffled the cards, but I'll shuffle them again just to show you that I do it. Last time. Okay, this is the Shaman Tarot. I'll just stand my little angel back up. Okay, so card for people who picked deck number one. This is the Ace of Drums. Nice card. I'm going to use my little rose quartz to stand it up a little bit so you can see it a bit better there. Okay, there you go. Okay, so this is quite an earthy card. Drum is always reminds me of like a heartbeat. The drum does, and the heartbeat. It's often when you hear a drum beating like a heartbeat, it's like the rhythm of life, isn't it? Because it's like a heartbeat pumping your blood around your body, and it's like the rhythm of life. That's why there's all that nature in the background on the card. And if you can see all these trees really growing nicely there. They used to use drums in Native Americans, the Africans. They used to use the drums to send messages to other tribes, other people as well. So that could be some news that are coming to you. People who chose number one. It's a card of growth as well. You've got all those trees in the background, all this grass. Looks like it's growing quite a lot. That grass does. So you've got all that growth there. That's progression, moving forward. This is an ace as well. So this is or the one. This is the beginning of something new for you, and it could be in any sphere, but it's quite it's a grounded card. It's an earthy card, so it's on the materialistic side of things rather than mental or spiritual. So when we're talking about materialistic things, we're talking about work, about home, about ornaments, new possessions, for instance, things like that we're talking about. So it's something new that's coming up, and a door that is opening, a new beginning for you on the materialistic side of things. So you may be starting a new job. You may be just settling down into your new home, so maybe decorating or buying furniture. It may be that you're in the same job and maybe you're in for a pay increase. Or even an extra holiday or some kind of holiday that you've not had for a while. I'm picking up as well, going somewhere into nature. Because even though you can't actually see it in this card, I'm actually picking up visions of lakes, large expanses of water, but not the sea. I'm picking up lakes, very big lakes. And you've also got symbols on the drum as well. The symbols also give messages. So expect some good news. And because this is an early card, it's also saying to you, be organized, practical, realistic, structured. These are all things that you need for whatever it is that is coming to you. Keep your head out of the clouds. Keep your feet firmly on the ground. Look at things with a realistic approach. So you've also got the red strips hanging off the drum, as you can see there as well. So that's also saying to me, because red is active, it is the colour of activity and movement. And so that's something that you're going to have to put some work in to get what you want as well. So whatever it is that is coming to you, number one, people, you will be required to put some work in to make it grow and to keep it where it is. It's not something that's just going to appear out of nowhere and be there forever. You need to put some work in for it. It's a something that is coming to you. It's news coming to you. If you're starting a new project, then you're going to have to start it because otherwise it's not going to be successful. Like you can have all these ideas, and you can have really good news to put your ideas into fruition, and some good news saying, oh yeah, this is really interesting idea, we're interested in what you have to say, but unless you do something about it, it's not going to happen. So that's why you've got the red strips there. That's for movement, putting something into operation, actually doing something about the ideas you have. Right, if you're offered a new job, well, you're not going to get it unless you actually go and say, yes, I want this job. You have to do something to get it. It's like when people say, oh, yeah, I'm going to win the lottery. Well, you're not going to have any win if you don't buy a lottery ticket. Simple as that. Now, I'm not saying that this card is a win on the lottery. Please don't think that I'm saying that. I'm just giving you a metaphor. Things don't happen unless you actually put some kind of activity into it first, and also afterwards to keep it going, because it just doesn't work. Whatever it is, you could be a writer sitting there, but if you don't write, then you're going to get anywhere with it, are you? If you're doing a job, well, you're not going to have a job for very long unless you actually go and work. Simple as that. So that red strip's there, that's the activity, that's the movement, things that you need to do to get things moving. But you also need to be realistic and grounded with your expectations, and any ideas that you want to put into operation, you need to be realistic, you need to be structured and organized and planned. Plan for the future with this card as well. It's a good card for actually planning. So sit down, make some plans, what do you want to do, and work out how you're going to do it. And if you do small steps, like the beating of the drum, the heartbeat, you do small steps. Each time you succeed in achieving that small step, you go on to the next one. It's so much easier getting to the main point. It's like when you've got a ladder, like you've got rungs on the ladder. So those rungs are a bit like your heartbeat, a bit like the beating of the drum. Now, if you try and jump to the top of the ladder, you're probably going to slip and fall on your backside, bash your head in. If you try and walk up the ladder 3 or 4 rungs at a time, well, again, you're likely to slip. If you walk up 1 rung at a time, you're going to get there. The likelihood of you slipping and falling is diminished. It could still happen, of course, we all make mistakes, but the likelihood is diminished, and you're more likely to actually get to the top safely, more efficiently, and probably quicker than trying to miss out wrongs and try and you miss out the wrongs, you're missing out information, you're missing out knowledge that you need. So once you're at the top of the ladder and somebody says, oh, did you see this particular coloured um, rung on the ladder down the bottom? Oh no, I didn't, I missed that one. Yeah, that's information that you've missed. You start at the bottom, you work your way up slowly, you plan it, simple as that. You want to take a running jump at the ladder and get to the top, you're probably going to get knocked off by somebody that's already there. Okay, so this is the Ace of Drums. Listen to your heart beating, go into nature, go and have a walk around the park. If you're not near a park, just have a walk around the streets. I think we're going to have a bit of sun in the next few days, I hope. Yeah, I think June and July is going to be a bit wet, but anyway, that's my forecast. But I think in the next couple of days we're going to have a bit of sunshine. So before June starts, so go outside for a bit, go into your gardens, go to the park, just have a walk around the streets. If you don't need to walk far, I know some people have trouble walking, just do what you can. You know, obviously, if you can walk far, then just go out into nature and have a walk. It keeps you grounded, but it's so beneficial in other ways as well because nature can also, it gets you in touch with the source, God, as you might want to call it, the universe, evolution, whatever name you want to give it. Nature can put you in touch with it, not only grounding you, as in an earthy way, but putting you in touch with the source, as in a spiritual and a mental way as well, because it opens your mind, it relaxes you as well. You feel so much calmer when you're out in nature. So this is all for you, people who chose card number one. Maybe this is something that you need at the moment, just feeling one with nature. Is we are all part of this earth. We're not above it, we're not separate from it, we are all part of it. We share this earth with many other creatures. There's a lot of talk at the moment on social media, on various platforms, and many of you who are listening to this may well have heard people talking about beings from other planets and things like that. And I find it very interesting myself. But one thing that I always question is why is it that people think that these individuals from other planets will want to come and speak to us when we don't actually take the time to get to know the beings that we share this planet with? And I'm not just talking about your cats and your dogs and your horses and your cows and your sheep. I'm talking about everything, your spiders, your bugs, the microbes in the water, the birds in the air, the frogs, the newts, everything. Why is it we've got so much life on this planet and we need to recognise that we're all part and parcel of this planet and we're all linked to each other. And that again is what this card is saying, it's one. Everything, everyone is part of one. That drum that you can see on that picture is like the earth. Please don't say I'm talking about a flat earth, I'm not. Okay, I don't know whether it's flat or round, I've never been up into space to have a good look myself, so I'll leave that to other people to argue. But the drum is like a symbol of the earth and the heartbeat of the earth itself, and we're all part of that planet, this planet. We're all part of one. The earth is alive. It's not not just a piece of rock, it's a living entity. So go and get out into nature, people who chose code number one, and have a look around you. Get to know the life that's around you. Get to take a look at all the little things, the ants, the spiders. I filmed some interesting things in my own backyard. I'm telling you, I was sitting up the table with the computer doing some work, and I got this feeling to look down, and I saw two butterflies, and the cement slabs that where the table is outside, they're a bit cracked, so they're not the best. And these two butterflies were there. The one looked dead, and it had fallen into one of the cracks, and as I say, I thought it was dead. And this other butterfly was trying to move. It had actually filmed this, and somewhere on the computer, and it was just a couple of minutes. And this one butterfly was trying to move the other one, almost like it was trying to get it to come back to life, or trying to take it with it. But in the end, it gave up and it flew off. And literally about 2-3 seconds later, the one that I thought was dead suddenly sprouted its wings, and off it went. So it just shows you, you can see these little dramas. And another one that I filmed actually in the drain in my back garden was this huge spider actually killing a wasp to eat. Now, this was something in my own back garden, so go and take a look in nature. Now, you may not like bugs, but we're all part and parcel of this planet. And if you're interested in beings from other places, other planets, then just remember there's so many beings on this planet as well. And all these little dramas are unfolding right in front of you, but do you actually see them? So go take a look. So that's for card for people for number one. I hope you liked it, because it is a nice card, that one. Some good things coming your way, but as I say, be realistic, get out into nature, plan what you're going to do with the future. Planning and structuring, organisation, these are all things that you need when you're making your plans. So there you go, that's for card number one. Thank you for choosing that one, and I'm going to go to card number two. Okay, this is Tarot of the Pagan Cats. I'm a cat person, so I quite like this deck as well. It's just a bit fiddly. Let's do it that way better. Okay. So for people who chose card number two, let's see what we've got. Okay, we've got the Six of Swords. Okay, let's just bring this a bit closer. Oh, too much. Okay, there you go. Six of Swords. That's quite cute, isn't it? Got the ginger cat, a little kitten. He's taking them across the water in his little boat. The Six of Swords often symbolises a journey, moving away from something, and it's often moving away from something that is no longer of any benefit to you, going on an unknown journey. And normally the waters don't look choppy. It does in this card, I'm not really sure why, but in most decks the waters aren't choppy at all. It's normally very still and placid. But they're trusting in the cat god to take them there, trusting in source to get them over to the other side, to get them to a better life. And the card in a lot of decks shows you like a boatman with a person sitting in there. But the feeling I get looking at these is that that's a family. So for those of you who chose card number 2, so almost like a family that is moving to, not necessarily moving house, but going to a place of a new beginning, starting something new, but not sure of the journey to get there, not sure of the outcome, a little bit indecisive about what to do, maybe even a little bit worried about the journey, a little bit worried about what's going to happen. So if this resonates with you, for people who chose number 2, those swords that are in the boat there, those are tools that you have. They're also weapons, if you want to see them like that. So if anybody starts picking on you, bullying you, attacking you in any way, you've got a weapon there to defend yourself, like a sharp tongue. That's the phrase that came into my mind, just the sharp tongue. So if anybody starts on you, you can turn around with a really quick retort and get rid of the person or shut them up. But the swords are also tools, natural abilities that you have that can get you to other places, that can open doors for you. It's up to you whether you want to use one of them or all of them. There could also be natural abilities that are being handed down into your family through the generations in the family. Maybe a bit like psychic ability or intuitiveness or intelligence. The swords are often seen as the way we think because it's the mind. But as I say, because I get the feeling this could be generational, the way you use your mind could have been passed down. But it's something that you shouldn't be afraid of. It's something that you should relish and use. I get the feeling that some of you could be putting it aside, maybe out of fear, or maybe out of lack of confidence. But it's telling you, don't be afraid. The source, the God, or your guardian angels, spirits, evolution, whatever it is you want to call it, whatever it is you want to believe in. As I say, we're all different, we're all on different paths. So whatever name you want to give that energy that surrounds everything, it will lead you into the right direction. You can see the land over there. It's heading there. And it's getting there fine. It's like a bridge actually that they're on, isn't it? So the cat's pulling the carts over the bridge, over the rough water. Whereas in other cards, it's a boat that the people are on. So there he is, because yeah, some cats don't like swimming, do they? And there you go. He's pulling the cart over the bridge. So he's keeping his family away from choppy waters. He knows where he's going. Over there. He's looking over there as well, so he's got sights firmly planted. Alright, so even though you yourself may not know where you're going, if you look, she's got her back, and the little kitten's got their back to it. They can't see it. If this card is telling you to trust in the source knows where you're going. The fates know where you're going. We're all here for a purpose, and sometimes that purpose may not be that big and bold. You know, sometimes it is big and bold. We're all different. But even the smallest thing, there's a reason for it, there's a reason behind it. If you think back in your life when somebody may have said something to you, just a simple sentence, and you may have thought, oh, that's interesting, let me go and have a look, a bit more information on that. And it may have opened doors for you, study courses, information, whatever it was. Just that one simple sentence that somebody has said has led you to something else. And that's the purpose that that person had. It may not just be one purpose, they may have other people that they need to give some information to as well. But you see what I mean? Anything, even simple things, there's always purpose for something, but and source knows what your purpose is and where you're going, and you need to trust it. It will lead you right. Okay, sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we do, sometimes we have ups and downs, and these are things that actually teach us about life. When we make a mistake, we learn from it, and it's not so much the mistake that we've made, it's how we handle the mistake that is most important. So this card says, don't be afraid. You may not know where you're going at the moment, it will come clear. And you and your family are safe. You've got the tools that you need to get to where you want to go. You may even have some natural abilities that you put into one side, or maybe you've forgotten about, that you can use as well. And just remember your inner child as well. Sometimes we all need a little bit of fun, just to let our hair down. So you can see the way he's just poking his head up just above the top of the cart there. It's almost as though he's looking, but he's not too sure. Now he's also keeping his head down, keeping a little bit quiet. And the way she's got her back to everything, I'm presuming that's Mum anyway. Like she got her back to everything, that it's almost like she doesn't want to see what's there as well. Lack of confidence. And if she turns around and looks, you'll probably see, oh yeah, going in the right way. Lack of confidence gone. He can pull his head a little bit further out and realise that it's not as bad as what he thinks. Enjoy the journey. Life is a journey, and sometimes things are not so good, but as I said before, we learn from them, and sometimes we have some really good things, and you need to grab those opportunities every single time and go with it. Sometimes though, we're going on a journey or part of a journey where we don't know where we're going to end up, and just enjoy it. Just go with the flow and be confident that source knows where it's taking you. Be confident it's going to go right. It's almost like the journey that we're on at the moment, isn't it? Like the end of lockdown and the end of certain things are in sight, and we have to be a bit careful what we're saying, don't we? What words we're using on social media, because of certain individuals who don't like us using certain words. Stupidity, you can say. But anyway, so it's like that journey that we're going on at the moment. It will be ending soon. Nobody knows what's coming in the future. can't. We can only surmise. We read the cards and we try to look. My cards have told me that everything's going to be okay, and there's not going to be as much prejudice or discrimination as what the mainstream media are trying to cause, shall I say. So trust in source. It will come right. Knows where you're going. Enjoy it. And don't be afraid. There's an occult rule saying there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So just remember that. Whenever you're afraid of something, what is it that you're actually afraid of? It's often something that is causing you anxiety, but when you look at it, it's something that very often has not happened. So why are you worried? If it hasn't happened, why worry? There's no point, is there? If it hasn't happened, you're just causing trouble for yourself. It's almost like the law of attraction. If it's not happened and you're worrying about it, well, you're causing it to happen. You're bringing it to you. So, so stop worrying about it. Okay, so that's card number 2. Anyway, I hope you like that card. A little kitten at the bottom. As I say, I'm a cat person, so I quite like this deck. It's quite nice. My cat's a white cat, so he's not on there. But I hope you like the card for anybody who picked number 2. And I'm going to go to number 3. Ooh, knocking everything over. Okay. This is the Witch's Deck by Alan Callan Reid. Alright. That's the second time it's fallen over. My Tiger Eye Angel. Okay, what we got? Hey, the sun. Yeah, we could do with some sun at the moment. That's for sure. Yeah, I actually reckon we're in for floods June and July time. That is my feeling on the matter. There you go, all that water there. But yeah, I reckon this week anyway it was going to be nice and sunny, or at least the next few days we're going to have some really nice sunshine. And I reckon August as well we'll have some really nice sunshine. There you go, there's a bit of a prediction for you on the weather. Right, so well, those of you who chose number 3, then the sun is a very nice card, optimistic. A lot of the cards, when you turn them upside down, they can have a negative meaning, but the sun doesn't. It's both positive, upside or reversed. And it's you can see these 2 children. It's a card of children. It's telling you to be playful. It's telling you to enjoy life. It's telling you to be optimistic, to throw your cares to the wind and just let your hair down a bit and go and enjoy things. Go out and make new friends. Don't be afraid of going out. A lot of people are still afraid at the moment. This is telling you not to be. You're protected. You see all the sandbags right in there? That's protection. That's keeping all the water out. That's keeping all the negative emotions out. There's still got some water there though, and she's paddling in it. Yeah, as I say, we're in for some watery weather over the next 2 months. Anyway, protection there, as I say, you've got the sandbag there. That's like a shield protecting you from the bad weather. It's protecting you from anything negative. You've got the sun there at the top. And the fact that she's standing in the water there, the emotions, and she's actually being able to make friends with possibly a stranger, the way they're looking at each other. The emotions, she's in control of her emotions. This is a card of well-being as well. So those of you who chose card number 3, let's pull it up a bit there. Okay, maybe this is saying that you need to get out. You need to focus on your well-being, your mental well-being. Focus on your emotions. Let your hair down, as I mentioned before. Go out, speak to people. Don't be afraid of speaking to people. The more people you speak to, you'll find that people feel the same way that you do. You feel that people are on the same wavelength as you are, because you'll be directed towards those people. Trust in source to direct you there. Talking to people can often give you knowledge or information that directs you somewhere else that is of benefit to you, as well as meeting new friends who are supportive. So it may not be physical support, this could be mental and emotional support from a good friendship. So don't be afraid of talking to people, getting to know new people. Even if you're walking down the street, just say hello to people. Just say, "How are you? Good morning, isn't it? It's a lovely day. Sun shines out. We can get a tan for the next couple of days at least." Right, so don't be afraid of speaking to people. Be like a child for the next few days while you're out in the sun. Play some games. If you've got your own kids or family children, then just get in touch with them. Go play football. Go sit outside, play board games, play anything you want. Just get in touch with the kids. Go play hide and seek in the park, or do something silly and just enjoy it. Let your hair down. Just go and enjoy it. Spend time with your loved ones, because I think this is important as well, especially after all the lockdowns and everything that we've had recently. We need to spend time with their families. Children, especially, they've been locked in houses, and elderly people as well have been locked in various care homes, treated almost like prisoners. And these are people that we need to be supporting, and in turn, as we are supporting them, we also find that we're getting support back as well. It may not be from them, but we can actually feel that support. We feel it improves our well-being, helping someone else. And also, whatever you give out comes back karmically. So if you're trying to help other people, you'll find that this is what comes back to you karmically. If you're a nasty person, that's what's going to come back to you, but I'm sure you're not, because that's a lovely card, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to come up for anybody that's nasty. So for those of you who are number 3, that's a very optimistic, a very positive card, showing that good things are coming your way. You're also expecting some news, some of you looking at that, and somebody's going to tell you something quite enjoyable. This is possibly family news, or people who are very close to you, like family members, are going to give you some very celebratory news. And I'm thinking births and marriages, things like that. So expect news about those. And the The other thing that's coming out to me, because I'm looking at the sun at the top of that card, and what I'm also feeling, or what's coming to me is the crystal ruby. Ruby is a very strong, vibrant red when it's in jewellery. When it is a natural crystal, it's quite a dark red, but it's very passionate. And this is natural and the nice passionate, nothing to do with aggression or fundamentalism or anything like that. It's a passion as in enjoying what you do, a passion for life. The ruby represents life, and it's also quite a sexual stone as well, which again is a symbol of life and birth and natural cycles. And of course, the one at the bottom looks like the sapphire. The blue is quite a spiritual stone or a spiritual colour. Recovery, optimism always brings recovery. It's also calmness. And as I say, it reminds me of the sapphire. And the sapphire comes in many different colours. The blue is the most common colour, and it's also a calming stone, but it's also quite a magical stone, sapphire. And it gives you it helps your intuition. It can link to your third eye or your throat chakra. So communication between people is quite important for those of you who chose number 3. And as I said before, try meeting new people, communication with new people as well. Get new people into your life. Try and link into the energy of the sapphire with your throat chakra and also your third eye chakra. That's 2 crystals for you to look at. And then of course there's lots of yellow in that card. Yellow is linked to divinity or source. And I'm just going to say source because so many people have different words for what we see as source. You know, there's creator, God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, evolution, creation, um, whatever name you want to give it. I'm just going to call it the source. You will know what it is. So, but yellow is a link to that source, and it's saying to you, trust in the source, trust in fate if you want. So it's going to take you where you need to go. It will introduce you to the people you need to meet. Many of us out there are with a like mind, so trust that the source will take you to the people who are on the same wavelength as you are, so that you've got things in common. And I'm not talking about sexual relationships or anything like that. This is friendships. This is pure communication between people of all ages, of all genders, of all nationalities and backgrounds. So communication, very important with this card. Children are also important with the Sun card as well. And as I mentioned, you need to spend some time with kids and just let your hair down and have a lot of fun. I will say that again, it's very important. But also children as in protecting children as well with this card, looking out for them. And I think this actually leads me to looking at I think being human, humanity is probably better word or phrase to use. Remembering that we are human, and remembering the good side of being human. So kindness, consideration, compassion, and towards everyone, not just towards other human beings, but towards everyone that lives on this planet, regardless of species or background or anything else. Okay, so being human is very important. And those acts of kindness, even the little ones, just helping someone across the road, um, holding the door open for someone, letting someone go before you when you're driving, just those simple things can actually put a smile on someone's face. And trust me, it makes you feel like the world a lot better. Just and if we all started doing that, just imagine how nice the place would be to live in. And this is what it means to be human. It's just those small things that build up. So if we all started doing it, and those of you who chose card number 3, this is an ideal time for you to take the lead. Show people what it means to be human. We all need to remember this at the moment. There's been so much during these lockdowns and all this awful stuff that's been going on this past year that I think there's some people out there that need a bit of a kick up the backside and reminded that they are human. I've seen some awful things in the stores. Elderly people being told they've got to wait in the pouring rain because only 3 people are allowed in the store because of health and safety. But it's okay to wait in the rain to catch pneumonia. That's all right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Some people need to be reminded that they're human. So there you go. People who chose card number 3, take the lead. Start doing those acts of kindness. Maybe you already do it. Maybe you're the person who is already taking the lead and is showing people that we're all one, that we're all linked, and that this 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 world that we live in is far better when people are helping each other and being nice to each other. It's far better. And it puts a smile on somebody's face. It puts a smile on our own face as well when we're nice to other people, doesn't it? So, for those of you who are already doing that, well done. And for those of you who are not, then take the lead, go for it, start doing it. I'm going to start doing it. We all need to have the brightness back in our lives, don't we? Because that's what being nice does. It brings brightness back into your life. It's like as well when you see people outside and they are moaning about the birds pooping everywhere, and they moan about people walking the dogs, and then they moan about all sorts of things natural, and then you watch that person, they're walking up the road and they'll drop their silly mask on the floor, or they'll chuck their newspaper over somebody's fence or over to the canal, or they'll spit on the floor, or they'll drop their fag butt on the floor. You know those people, the ones who turn around and call the birds vermin. We've all seen those people. They're the ones who buy the slug pellets and the weed killer and the rat killer and all those horrible things from the shops because they want to surround themselves with death and destruction. Well, now it is time to surround ourselves with life, There's been enough death and destruction in this world, hasn't there? We need life and we need brightness, which the sun is giving us. So for when you see those people who are just ridiculous, just remind them they're a human being. Just remind them that if they want to surround themselves with death, then they can go somewhere else. There's plenty of places in this world where there's lots of death occurring because people want to live like that and they're not surrounding themselves with life. So those people can just go and bugger off somewhere else and go surround themselves with death if that's what they want. I want life around me. I want the brightness. I don't want death. I don't want destruction. What do you guys think? For those of you who chose card number 3, you've got the sun there. The sun is the bringer of life. And I better get off my soapbox, hadn't I? I bet you've had enough. Well, so there you go. That's card number 3, right? So for those of you who pick number 3, and bring some sun into your life, get outside, enjoy it while you can, let your hair down, be like a child again, go and play for a bit, enjoy life. Okay, do it safely, obviously. Don't do it for don't do anything silly or rash or anything. Just do it all safely. But there you go. Thank you for joining me. And if you click subscribe, it'll tell you when I put a next video out. So if you like the cards, so click like and leave me comments below if you want to leave me comments. You can share the video as well if you want to share it with anyone. Please do so. And thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.